Machine has appeared in homes across America.
Double and redouble his power. 32X.
6 times more powerful than 3DO. 40 times more than Super NES.
Hey, yo! There is no 32-bit Super NES. Are we gonna see the games or what? Show me!
Increase the power of the unit 40 times.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've heard a lot of negative things about the Sega 32X. Well, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to kick off a 3-part series detailing Sega 32X games that are worth playing today. So let's get started.
Attention all wing pilots. Stand by to receive orders. Wipe out enemy fighters.
Star Wars is cool, man. It was actually developed for the arcade by Sega, and it was developed for their Model 1 system in the arcade. And so that's the same exact system and hardware that powered Virtual Fighter and Virtual Racing. Which means all of Star Wars Arcade on the 32X, everything is rendered in polygons, using polygons. The game looks great, in my opinion. I love it. It is the very first game that I did play on my 32X, so there might be some nostalgia there for me. But I do think that, objectively, it is a very good game, and it's one worth playing today. There is some repetitive gameplay, of course. It's an arcade game. You know, that's what it is. They back in the day, back then, everything was chasing the arcade. And so to me, it was very impressive to see this come out so soon. Star Wars arcade game on the 32X. Man, it's a blast. And let me tell you something, it's a challenge too. So, you know, if you like those games that are challenging but fun, Star Wars arcade would be right down your alley. And it's not, you know, it's so much fun that even though you get killed over and over again, and, you know, it gets pretty tough there, especially around the middle rounds and the middle stages there. But it's fun enough to keep me interested anyway. So I would highly recommend Star Wars, the arcade game, for the Sega 32X, and I would play it any way you can. And again, we wanted to port some of those great arcade games home to our home consoles. That was a big deal back then. And I think that the 32X really gets overlooked in that area, because they did bring Afterburner Complete to the home console, to the 32X, and this version is awesome. It's very similar to Afterburner 2 in the arcade. You know, they had to make a few tweaks to it, of course. Bringing it to a home console, you're going to give it a difficulty level, which is good because this game is tough. And you can bump up the amount of ships you have and, you know, turn the difficulty down a little bit. There are times, you know, when you'll blow up, your plane will get destroyed, and you have no idea where the hit came from. And you'll be flying too, especially kind of in the middle levels. You know, there'll be some missiles coming at you from behind, and you've got to steer out of the way. You can do barrel rolls. You know, this game is just pure fun and pure adrenaline, man. Great soundtrack. The graphics are awesome. That pseudo 3D sprite scaling effect is just amazing, and the 32X just handled this game perfectly. So when you hear that there are no good games for the 32X, yeah, that's baloney. You can tell them, you know what, play Afterburner Complete, because that game rocks. So I highly recommend, of course, if you have a Sega 32X, grab Afterburner Complete and play it, man. It is so good. It's like having the arcade game, in your home. It's awesome.
Virtual Racing.
Virtual Racing Deluxe is yet another arcade port to the 32X. But this one is, well, it's done very well, and it's enhanced. You have more options on the Deluxe version, on the 32X version of this game, than you would at the arcade. You get your formula car, of course, you get a stock car, and you get a prototype car. So you get 2 additional cars that were not included in the arcade. You also get all 3 tracks that were included in the arcade, plus 2 exclusive tracks to the 32X. So the only way you can play Highland and Sand Park tracks is on the 32X. So they didn't just, port the game over and call it good. No, they actually enhanced it and gave you a reason to play this game and added some playability to the game. The game runs super smooth, just unbelievably smooth, and just is a lot of fun to look at and to play. Man, if you like racing games and you own a 32X, don't hesitate to get Virtual Racing Deluxe. One thing is, it is also one of the cheapest and most available 32X game out there. So yeah, definitely, man. This game is just a blast, and I'll tell you what, I sat down just to kind of record the footage on here, and I played for way longer than what I needed to just provide as footage for this video. So I love this game. It took me a couple of times playing it, and it took me a while to pick it up. I wish I would have just picked it up a lot earlier, because it's a great game. So Virtual Racing Deluxe on the Sega 32X. Man, play it any way you can. Thank you for joining me today, and please stay tuned for 3 more games that are worth playing today on the Sega 32X. I hope you guys have a great and safe rest of your day.